I can solve multi-step linear equations with variables on one side. And a variable, of course, is a letter that you're solving for the value. First, we distribute if we see parentheses. Then we combine like terms if we need to do that with a t-chart. Then, when we start solving, we eliminate the constant, the number by itself. We isolate or get the variable by itself, and then definitely check your solution in Desmos. Okay? Now, I'm not going to show you how to solve these longhand because that'll take way too much time for the video, but we will show you how to check them in Desmos. So -3 parentheses 2x minus 8 plus 5x. X equals, and we went through all of the numbers, we checking the solution we found if we solved it, okay, gives us 26. So this matches. That's how we know that we've gotten it. I spoke to Miss Benson and we decided that I am going to go ahead and solve this longhand. But if you don't want to notice that or don't want to do that and you just want to know how to check it in your calculator, of course you can skip to the next thing. But for those of you that would like to see this, and definitely when you get to Algebra 1, they're going to want you to solve longhand. Let me go ahead and show you. First thing I do is draw that line. Okay, so then we're going to distribute. -3 times 2x is -6x. -3 times a -8 is +24. And then drop your 5x, the equals, and the 26. Whenever you're distributing or whenever you're combining like terms, of course, you only work on one side at a time. So this is the side that I'm going to work with. I'm going to go ahead and make a t-chart up here at the top. Okay, so I've got a -6x here. I've got a +24 here. And I've got a +5x there because we're only doing one side. So a -6x and a +5x leaves you with -x plus 24 equals 26. We're going to eliminate the constant next. Let's get rid of that -24. And that leaves us with -x equals 2. And then we're going to isolate the variable because there is a -1 in front of that, even though you don't see it. So x equals a -2. And then you would check it by typing the original equation in Desmos and putting in your x minus 2 and making certain that you get what it should have been equal to. Okay? All right, now let's go to the next one. When you have variables on both sides, you're going to box the variable on the right, move that variable to the left, eliminate the constant, isolate the variable, and check it in Desmos. So to check it in Desmos, you have to take notice of this equal sign right here. Oops, sorry about that. You have to take notice of this equal sign right there. That means that this side of the equation has got to be exactly the same as that one. So to check that, we put the 2x on one line, we put the -3x plus 15 on the next line, and we find the x value that makes these two the same or equal. That's how you would check problems where you have variables on both sides. Now, let me show you how you would solve it. But if you want to skip ahead, you can't. You can, I mean, you don't have to watch this. Okay, so I've got 2x equals -3x plus 15. Okay, and I'm going to draw my line. And the first thing I'm going to do is put this in a box because I know I have to move it across that line. So I have to do the opposite of what's being done now. So I'm going to add 3x, and I'm going to add 3x over here as well. 2x plus 3x gives me 5x equals. Negative 3 and positive 3x cancel out, or they are opposites, so you get 0. And I bring down that 15. Make sure you know the sign, because if you have a negative up there, you cannot leave it behind. So then we're going to divide each side to isolate the variable, and we get 3. You use that original problem to put into Desmos, and then you use what you find as your solution to check and make sure that it is correct. Okay, so we have some practice problems we're going to do now. We have 4 students in Mrs. Bodkin's class solved this equation right here. And they want to know which student is correct. You absolutely can solve that, or you know that you have to get a negative 49 and you have been given 4 possible solutions. So let's start by typing in only what's on the right side of the equal sign. Negative 8x parentheses 3 plus, excuse me, that wasn't negative 8x, it was just negative 8, parentheses 3 plus y, close your parentheses, plus 1, okay? And by the way the equation is written, we know we want that to equal 49. So that's what we're looking for. Your variable is y, so make sure to use y equals. And this says Dominic said it was negative 21. Well, let's check out Dominic. Yeah, I don't think Dominic is right because that gave us 145. We're looking for 49. Let's try the second one. Elijah said the solution was 7. That doesn't look right either because it gave us negative 79. Let's try Sean. Sean calculated that the solution was x equals negative 9. I think Sean might be the winner chicken dinner because he got 49, and that's what we were looking at. But let's go ahead and give Billy a chance because we don't want to just dismiss Billy. Billy thinks it's 8. Yeah, that didn't work either. So if you want to, a great way to check a problem like this when you're given solutions and the answers is to just put it straight in the calculator and give it a try. All right, let's see what we've got next. Okay, next we have what value of this equation makes it true. I want you to notice right away that you have an equal sign, so we know one side has to be the same as the other, and that you have variables on both sides of this equation. So there are several ways to do it. Let me start by just typing in the way we're going to check it in our calculator. 4m minus 8 is on one side, and it has to be exactly the same as 10 minus 2m. So I put them on opposite lines so I can check when I have a solution to see whether or not they are indeed the same. And of course, my solution is going to be the m because that's a variable. If you'd like to skip ahead a little bit to where I test my solution, you can, but I'm going to go ahead and solve this. I see a variable on the right, so I put it in a box, and it's a negative 2m, so I'm going to add a 2m. 4m plus 2m is 6m minus 8 equals 10. Then, of course, I eliminate the constant. So that's a plus 8 on each side, and I get 6m equals 18. Finally, isolate the variable. M equals 3. So let's check and see if I solved that correctly. When I check m equals 3 in Desmos, it makes both sides of the equation exactly the same, and that's what we're looking to do. So let's go on to the next one. Well, looks like that's it for this one.